Welcome to I guess this is season 2. I'm going to say it's season 2 of Career Talk with Chelsie. With who? Me. I just said it, Chelsie. So I have been gone for a whole year and now I'm back. And I feel personally that I'm coming back during the weirdest time to be offering career advice. But I also think it's a very necessary time to be offering career advice because we need our jobs. We need to stay employed. We need to stay motivated. We need to stay employed. We need our jobs. Unless you wake up independently wealthy, and I did not this morning, we need our jobs. And we cannot survive, we cannot thrive working without having support. We need support. So here with me, Chelsie, I'm going to be your Sherpa. I'm going to be your guide. I'm going to be your job auntie. I'm here to offer you advice. Do I know everything? No, I do not. But I have experienced a lot. I've had a lot of jobs. I've had a lot of coworkers. I've had a lot of great managers. And I haven't had a lot of bad managers. I just had a lot of managers that's, you're good at an activity. You should not be a people manager. So I'm here. We're going to talk about it. On this episode, we're going to talk about the return to work mandates. Companies have decided, we're so great. Everyone working remote from home. We're still getting things done. We're still connected. Awesome. Now they're like, I need y'all to come back into this office. And quite frankly, we've been thriving, surviving, making it happen, still doing our work, still doing our best remotely. Now we got to come back into the office. So what are we going to do? Let's talk about this plan. Let's ensure that we come in, do all the things, check the boxes. And also, too, while you're checking those boxes by coming in, you're making great career decisions, great career moves, and you're doing all the things to take you to the next level. If the next level is not where you necessarily want to be, you're doing all the things to ensure that you will continue to have a job. You're gaining additional skills. You're strengthening your network. You're doing all the things that you need to do in order to be successful at the work that you're currently doing. So that's my intro. We're going to get all into it. This is season 2, episode 1. Hey, I want you to come back to work. What you going to do? With Career Talk with Chelsie, with me, Chelsie. Okay, friends, they've called us back to work. So what are we going to do? We know the pros and cons of coming back to work. Pros are, you're able to collaborate, you're able to walk to get information or just reach out to someone, or you can see them in the halls, in the elevator, at the coffee stand, in the break room. So collaboration, yes, awesome. Strengthening your network is also a pro to going back into the office. Like I just said, you see people now. You may see that person that you need to collaborate or talk to about something, about a project, or you may see someone that you want to actually have mentor you. Someone may reach out to you for you to mentor them. So there's a lot of good reasons to come back to the office. So collaboration, networking opportunity, actually seeing your team. I know for a while I was working remote, and our team would get together. We would get together monthly, go out and have lunch, go for walks, because, everyone was remote. Everyone was working in some part of the metro. So getting together and just being able to see that person, talk to that person, break bread with that person, talk to them about their family and catch up, that was always something good. For me, what was really important when I decided to take a position would cause me to not work in the house, work at home, was work-life separation. I really, really, really got to the point where I was overworking in my house. I was tired of my house being my place of work because I felt myself always working. If I wasn't doing something or if I had some downtime, I would always flip my mind back to work. Oh, I can do this. I can create this report. I can look through this. So having that work-life separation is also really, really good and really critical. And also too, using somebody else's Wi-Fi, using somebody else's This may sound weird, everything that you were keeping at the house, someone else's snacks. Generally, companies now keep snacks, keep coffee, those type things at work for team members as well. But having options to be able to, hey, use their stuff, use their Wi-Fi, eat their snacks. And also, too, there's cons to actually going back to the office. Depending on where you live, I live in metropolitan Atlanta, and baby, commuting is commuting. You don't have as much flexibility as you had when you were working remote. Health concerns, because we all know the flu, um, COVID, those things are not going away. They did not go away. Colds seem to be worser now, and I just really feel like, the common cold is no longer a common cold. I think it is some mutation of COVID or some mutation of the flu. So, so those things are, running rampant and can be an issue. So health concerns. And also, too, financial burdens. All of a sudden now you're putting gas in your car 2, 3 times a week because you got this commute. And that was a expense that you were not having when you were actually working from home. Um, and also, too, some team members is just like refusing to go back. So before, when it was a question of going back, and when it was being loomed or socialized about coming back into the office, a lot of people are just like, okay, let me find another company that will allow me the opportunity to actually work remote. So a lot of people left companies. So companies lost a lot of great team members by asking them to come back to work. But what I want us to realize is there's no one size fit all solution to this. So the advice that I'm going to give, it may not even resonate or ring for anyone, but it also may resonate and ring true to actually someone. So I just want to be able to be a support, just let you know that, hey, someone is thinking about you, someone is praying for you, and someone is just, out here providing you with information so you can make great decisions as it relates to your career. So, okay, so you have a return to work mandate. If you're a manager, I will implore you to listen to your employees. Ask them for feedback about how they feel about coming to work. And employees, team members, be honest, but also be professional. Be honest, but keep it cute. But letting your managers know, letting directors know, letting the company that you're working for know why you don't want to come into work and what you're actually losing by coming into work. And managers and directors and organizations, I want you to be able to be prepared to tell them what they're actually gaining by coming back into the office. Um, Oftentimes, the pros on an employer side does not resonate to the pros on an employee side. And be mindful of that. Everyone is not going to like, oh, I absolutely get it. Yes, coming back into this office is absolutely the most wonderfulest thing I should do. When you've had people working home 5, 6, 10, 15 years. So be mindful of that. And also, too, think about what you're, as an employer or an employee, think about what you're going to do. How are you going to make this work for you? How are you going to make collaboration work for you? How are you going to make being in office work for you? I am a people person. However, I'm also an introvert. It happens. It is it is very, very possible to be two at one time. But just think about it. You're going back into the office. You have opportunities to be face to face. So when you are face to face working with someone, honestly, ideas flow faster. Good energy is contagious, but also, hey, energy is contagious as well. You have an opportunity to have those aha moments with someone else, and that you can actually, talk through, work things out, work kinks out in projects, work out, things that you may not completely understand. You have a resource there that you can actually work it out with. Um, there's a lot of opportunities for spontaneity and connection. It's sometimes you think, oh, I can do that online, but it's hard to replicate that online because you don't see their body movement. You don't really get to be able to understand, like a person who they are, because talking to someone via online, a phone, that's mediated communication. And some things are actually missed when it's not face to face. You can pick up on nuances. You can pick up on, a way a person, looks, side looking, grimacing, smiling. Is that a true smile? Are you really smiling with your eyes? So those collaborations allow you to actually be able to get additional information and brainstorm in a totally different way. So, it helps with creativity, it helps with innovation. It strengthens your team dynamics. And also too, it's like sometimes faster decision making. Sometimes have you ever sent an email to someone and you were waiting for days for them to respond? If you're in the office, you can send an email. And if it's something that you really need by close of business and you put on that email you need it by close of business, sometimes you could just get up, walk to that person's office, cue them into like, hey, Bob, I sent you an email. I need your response by close of business today. Have you read it? And if Bob said, yeah, I read it, was like, well, okay, is it possible for you to give me the information now? So Bob can say, hey, ABC 123 X, Y, and Z. You can take that information back, respond to his email based off our quick conversation. This is the process. This is the procedure. This is what we're going forward with. I'm taking your verbal confirmation as an approval and we're moving on. So that is something I definitely missed while I was working from home, just being able to just get up and walk to someone and ask them for the information that you need, so you can keep it moving and, you keep your day moving and you can, continue on to the next thing. Because sometimes when you're just sitting there waiting for someone, that's not the business. I know commuting is hard. So I'm going to talk about commuting. For me, one thing I have taken when I commute and when I've commuted in the past, or even just going on long vacations, I take that opportunity to actually listen to a podcast, listen to a book. I utilize all of that time to doing something creative, and creative, and also catching up on things that I enjoy, or catching up on talking to people, catching up on phone calls, calling your family, calling your friends who you haven't talked to in a while. Those are the things that you could utilize commuting for. I know one thing that it would not really kill me, but I would find it a little bit burdensome when working from home and I wanted to go to a networking event. So I had to get myself up, get myself dressed, and to leave out the house. Because, sometimes you get in the house, you just like, I'm in and I am not trying to leave out this house. But, being that I have to commute now, I'm in the car. So it's just like, okay, so I can attend this meeting. I'm already out in the car. I'm already up. I'm already dressed. I could be a little tired, but I'm already moving in a direction because I'm in the car that I don't have to do any mental gymnastics as it relates to getting me dressed and getting me out the house to actually get me to an opportunity to network. So it's just like, you're out, you're there, you can just, continue your commute, continue or add to your commute a stop off so you can actually ensure that you're, having those networking opportunities that you don't want to necessarily drive to. Um, and also, too, as it relates to commuting, be honest with your manager. If your commute is longer, if your commute is difficult, be honest with them and, and try to figure out a reasonable solution that will give you an opportunity to not add to that burden of commuting. It could be like you working a half day or you working several half days. So you'll work, up until, 1, 2 o'clock, you leave so you can beat traffic, or you have an opportunity to actually work from home 1 or 2 days a week. Just being honest and laying out the situation and providing the pros and cons, and just not necessarily having it one-sided employee. So it's just like, I want to do this because this is how it benefits me. I need to do this because this is how it can benefit us. So look at your team, think about your manager, and think about also the company that you work for, that they're be able to actually benefit from, you working from home. So just think about that. I've read and saw a lot of TikToks, Instagram posts about people coming back into the office and really not liking their team members. And that is a thing that is possible. I'm not going to try to gaslight anybody and act as if you love everybody. No, you don't. No, you do not. So think about it. Take that into consideration. Take into consideration, this person that you don't like, why you don't like them, and begin to work that out within yourself. If it's bad blood, something happened in the past, you may want to take an opportunity to actually discuss that with them, probably with someone that can mediate the conversation or witness the conversation. So it won't be one-sided, he say, she say. Very often it is our managers that we don't necessarily want to go back to. And with that being said, that is something that we can fix or we can address, but it may not be fixable as quickly as possible. Consider skip levels, sharing with your manager your concerns in a very professional way, but also too, doing a skip level, going to your manager's manager, your boss's boss, providing them information. If you decide that you want to do a skip level, never do a skip level without having your manager to somewhat know that you're going to do a skip level, or not even to do a skip, not letting your manager know that you're going to do a skip level. But don't do a skip level without providing your concerns with your manager, or not letting them know or giving them an opportunity to fix anything. Because if you do a skip level and this information goes back to your manager, and your manager is blown out, knocked off their socks, or unaware that these were issues, it will cause for your relationship to be a little bit terrible, or turmoil will add to it. So never do a skip level without letting your manager know that you have whatever issue that you want to actually talk to their manager about prior to. So I know you probably think, okay, Chelsie, that is not necessarily the most positive thing to do, but it is a very positive thing to do, because very often managers who are not good managers and they're managing you poorly, their manager don't know, because they probably are going back to their manager complaining about you, and not necessarily having, honest conversation about how the part they play in whatever you're not doing correctly or whatever you're not doing properly. So having skip levels with documented information that you've shared with your manager, I would say, and I don't do this, and I should do this, after you have a meeting with your manager, send an email to let them know, based off the conversation that you had, these are the things that, you all discussed, send that documentation back. Your manager may never respond to it, but you're letting them know, hey, we had this meeting based off the conversation we had. These are my takeaways, or these are the things that we talked about, or these are my notes. Because I know for me, my manager is constantly typing when we're talking. It is extremely annoying, but I need to do what I just said. I need to take that opportunity, circle back with her via email. Okay, these are the notes from our meeting that we had. Whether she shared her notes or not, that's not even important. But I need to document that this is what was said. These are the action items that came out of this meeting that we had. And so to be able to go forward from there. So you won't be in a situation where you're like, okay, it's a he say, she say situation. You've actually put in some information and you provided some feedback, and they provided feedback, or didn't provide any feedback at all. So just be mindful, because this is your career. You got to own it. You got to absolutely own it. And if you get the opportunity to be flexible and responsible. Make sure you get your work done. Make sure you dot your I's and cross your T's. Make sure you're doing everything that you need to do to ensure that you have the opportunity to continue to work from home, that this will not end with you. If you have coworkers that are not working from home properly or correctly, or just, dropping a ball consistently and constantly, those are the reasons that you probably got returned, that you were returned to work or requested to return to work. But don't let that be you. Continue to do your best. And even if you're not doing your best, take the heed that I'm saying now, because I just realized that something I'm giving you advice on doing something, but it's something I should be doing as well. So listen to what I'm saying and take up these tips and start doing them as well. Do your job to the nth. Do it to the excellence. If there's something that you don't know or you don't have access to, ask for that access, ask for that knowledge. If it's something that you need to learn, look on a class. Baby, YouTube University is giving us degrees out here for free. So think about that. Think about Coursera. Think about Udemy. Think about ways that you can strengthen your excellence and strengthen what you do to get you to be a part of doing great work. I'm gonna leave some resources in the show notes. So you can get some things to help you work better. So make sure you're just doing everything to the absolute best of your abilities. Okay, so those are the things that I wanted to share with you all as it relates to returning to work. We know it's hard. I know it's hard. I have a 40-minute commute, so I completely understand, commuting now when you did not have to. But let's work in excellence. Let's get everything done that we need to get done. Let's utilize the resources that we have at our fingertips with being at work, and also too, I didn't mention this, but there has to be work-life balance. So while you're at work, take breaks. I will get up, take me a 15-minute break, walk around. I've always fake smoked, and this may sound really crazy because smokers take smoke breaks and no one questions them taking a smoke break. But if you get up and take a break and that looks like, oh, that looks weird. I will stand up and say, I'm going to have a cigarette break, and I will leave. People, do I smoke? Nope. But I'd say I'm having a cigarette break, and I'll go for a meal, 10, 15-minute, 5-minute walk. But you have to take breaks. You have to do a point where you can decompress or just step out of your work really quickly and think about some other things. You may take that time to go for a walk. You may take that time to listen to a podcast. You may take that time to catch up with a coworker. So you and a coworker have scheduled walks, and you all do a walk and talk. You may decide that you're going to do a stretch exercise. You may decide to do something. You may decide to sit in your car and take a nap. But make sure you take that mental break that during the course of your day. And you may have to take a couple of mental breaks during the course of your day, but ensure that you prioritize you in the course of your day. So that is this episode of Career Talk with Chelsie, with who? Me, Chelsie. Honey, they asked us to come back to work. I've given you some tips. I've given you a little advice. I'm going to put some things in the show notes, some more resources for you in the show notes. So, you drop down there, check those resources out. By all means, I will link you to probably other people's pages, other podcasts, other resources. I'm not getting paid for any of this. I'm here trying to give you information so you can live your best life. So again, I'm really going to finish this time. This is Career Talk with Chelsie, with who? Me, Chelsie. And I'll talk to you next time I sit down and record my utterances, my thoughts, my concerns, and cares for you. You have an amazing day and a great rest of the week. Thanks. Bye.